was working in the Midwest for a large television ministry at the time, and we were doing primetime television specials. I started pushing sets around and setting lights and pulling cables, ended up running camera, ended up being an assistant director, and finally ended up directing that program a number of years later. And that was a great opportunity because I was working with Hollywood stars. They would bring in major directors, producers, makeup artists, just expert people to come in and work on this program. So I got started really working at a very, very high level. And when I was 36, a new generation came into that organization and ended up firing me. And so looking back, I realized it was God that fired me because I really did feel called to come to LA. But I can rationalize like the best in the business. Our kids were in a good school. We had a good church. We had our friends there. And I thought, maybe I can commute. Maybe I can put it off. Finally, I got fired. Now, looking back, I think it was God that fired me totally. And we moved to LA.
You're called there.
I was called to LA. Absolutely. And I kept putting it off. So I think, God took things into his own hands and finally fired me. And looking back, it was the best thing that ever happened. We launched our company, Cook Media Group. Once I got on the street, people, the word started getting around. I started getting calls. I started getting hired. And we've had an opportunity to, like you say, film in 70 countries around the world. We've done some remarkable things. And it all started from being fired. So, hey, for anybody listening or watching today that gets fired or has been fired, that's not the end. That very often can be the launching pad that takes you to a whole
Man, I love that.
level.
I love that. When man fires, God hires, right? So
That's
pretty,
exactly
that's pretty cool.